What are we jamming on now, Jay? What are you jamming on right now?
A lot of the same, man. A lot of the same. So clearly, and more than anything else, college football 26 this time. So I finally finished the final season of my 25 dynasty with Marshall. Finished as a national champ, so I was feeling good there. But in my tough dynasty that like currently had like, I don't know, 15 to 20 users, I won the Big Ten for the first time. You know, this is Miami Redhawks, took them all the way to the Big Ten championship, made the playoff. So it felt great on one side. But on the other hand, because College Football 26 came out, 2 of my 3 user games were simmed because a lot of people in the league were like, 26 is out now. Just put me on auto for this final season. So it was like, oh, you guys just like cheaped out.
That's fucked up, yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, man.
That's fucked up, man.
Exactly.
I'd cut a motherfucker out of my life for some shit like that,
actually. To their credit, it was tougher flipping between like trying to get started and get your feet wet in 26 back to 25 because they did make some big changes, which I will talk about that made it a little different.
Fuck that. It ain't that. Nah, fuck off. No. That's like motherfuckers who stop paying attention to their fantasy league. It's the same exact thing. Because their team is shitty and they basically fuck up the rest of the league because they aren't self-serving bullshit. Like, no, I'll cut a motherfucker out of my life for that.
I hear you, man. So because of that, it made like that last 25 season it felt like it just dragged on. But also summertime, so people legitimately were like, yo, I'm traveling, I'm on vacation, family, whatever. But either way, we've moved on in spirit to 26 and it's more of the same, but like they really turned up the freaking transfer portal, like real life in a frustrating way. So like before in 25, you have a good team, you have like a small school team, you have a great season, call it 10 wins. Next year, you're starting off, maybe one person transfers or 2, but everybody's like, hey, we're getting better. We want to run it back. And here, man, I went after my inaugural season with the Ohio U Bobcats, of course. I went 11-2, won my bowl season, and was literally 1 inch away at the 1 yard line from upsetting Ohio State. And then like 30 people transferred off of my roster. My quarterback, who was only a sophomore, dipped out. So all of a sudden, like my rating went from like, call it like an 80 to like a 70 just off of transfers. So I was like, this is not even as fun. Cause like now all the recruiting I'm doing, it just feels like people are just dipping out. And maybe that's meant to model more how like this last year has been with transfer portal and like the craziness with that. But it did not make for a fun user experience. So I know they're tweaking things. I expect a patch to come, but it's rough, man. It's rough.
Yeah, I know. Something like you don't have control over. Yeah, you gotta like. Again, I don't play those games, man. But there would be shit you get. Sometimes it's like I don't care how game breaking it is. Like that is too. Takes away the fun. You know, like exactly. Like especially with that stuff, like that. Out of game shit, man. Like nah, I'm gonna fuck off. Like. It's like Civ syndrome. Like, I'm turning the barbarians off, man. Like, fuck off. The barbarians are annoying. Like, all they are, they're just going to slow down my fun and build. And, like, I don't give a shit how much of intention that is in, or how much of intent there is in the design of the game for there to be that difficulty early game. Yeah. Fuck off. I'm not dealing with it. Pain in the ass.
Yeah, particularly, like, it's known the most played version of that game or the most played mode is Dynasty. Like people don't play Dynasty to play for their alma mater. You run Ohio State, that would be freaking easy. People play Dynasty to pick a small school, pick a max school, and let me see how long it takes me, to make them a powerhouse kind of thing. That's the fun. It's always been. That's what everybody talks about. But like for them to try to make it mirror real life, where that's not even possible, where Miami's never going to make it, Ohio U's never going to make it because people will just dip out. And you know what I mean? It's just like, hold on, that's not, we don't want full realism here. This is a video game. We want to have some fun here. So like, you got to roll that back because right now it's too much. It's too much, man.
Well, I mean, the Dynasty, you can toggle all you want on the Dynasty, right? I mean, I guess is there like a slider or is it a toggle?
I haven't, honestly, I haven't dug into that because I just I just wanted to play it as is. That's generally how I always do games. I don't really try to like mess with sliders and stuff until I get into it. But like something like that, I may look into it if they don't change it, because it's not fun. But putting that aside, there is some upside. My tough dynasty, since they finally finished the 25 season and now we're kicking off to 26 and everybody's excited moving to 26, deleting 25 from our consoles. And we now have like 30 freaking users in the dynasty. So like there's like 6 users per league. There's so many dudes. Like I'll be lucky to have a winning record this season. So it'll be tough, but like, I may need to play some other games just to make sure I'm guaranteed to have some fun. Because with this many people, like we'll see.
Oh, so glad I'm off football, bro. So glad. I had on whatever day it was, I had so many people text me like, "Are you sitting there with your pants off watching this?" I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about, man. Like the Bills are on Hard Knocks, and I honestly didn't even know it was on.
You didn't?
I mean, I wouldn't watch that anyway. I'm not watching NFL propaganda even. I hate the NFL. Right. I've hated the NFL for over a decade. I was addicted to the Bills, so I wouldn't have watched that propaganda bullshit anyways. But either way, yeah, like, so many motherfuckers are like, "Oh my God, are you watching this?" I'm like, I don't even know. No, I'm not. I don't watch football. I don't know what to tell you. It's great. Man. It's great. So nice. I'm pretty sure. I think either yesterday or today, the first preseason game was going on, and like I see that in the periphery of my view, and I'm just like, nope.
No, really? You're not going to get pulled back in? They can't pull you back in?
Hasn't happened yet.
So if they go all the way and they're in the Super Bowl,
it's easy to say these things in the preseason, Jay.
Yeah, exactly. Like if all of a sudden they're 10-0, 11-0, like you're not going to be checking.
I mean, that's that every year. It's like that won't be any different. I'll be sitting here talking about how Sean McDermott is going to fucking ruin it when it matters, no matter yeah. Like
how will you feel if they actually do? You're like ignoring it and they win it all. Like how
good, great. I pray to God for Josh Allen's sake, the most devastating thing that has ever happened to a football field. I pray to God that he can overcome the internal adversity that he is presented with and actually feel what it feels like to fucking win a fucking Super Bowl, because there's no better football player that's ever walked on the planet. So he's like seemingly by all accounts an amazing human being. So like the idea like that he's deprived of that because this fuckface is like the best thing coaching wise that's happened to this fucking pathetic fucking franchise in 30 years. Like being his impediment is fucked up, So I hope I would love that. That'd be great.
Tell me how you really feel about him, Josh. And the
the shit that, I mean, whatever. He's actually a good coach too. And I think even a better human being, but he can't fucking do it. And he's wasting the best thing that'll ever happen to that town football wise. So,
okay.
I can't watch that. I can't watch it. And it's the reason he can't do it is it's not like tactical. It's not, I guess it's kind of everything's tactical to some degree, but like it's an unwillingness to embrace the fact that he has the most devastating thing that's ever been on a football field. Like he's still talking about like other tactical things being as much of or even more of a priority. And it's not. The reason they've lost games against Patrick Mahomes by 3 points in January is because there have been moments that he has decided to fucking do some dumbass defense thing or some other give a fucking fake punt to fucking DeMar Hamlin, like shit like that, instead of just going, here, Josh Allen, just go do something amazing. And like, if you don't, fine, we can live with that. But there's no way any other choice is a better odds opportunity to succeed. And that's his problem, that he won't, I don't know, concede that? I don't know, that he has to, I don't know. Is there something ego there that he has to make the fucking, the brilliant coaching choice instead of just handing the ball to Josh Allen and going to the locker room? Like that's what he should do. And he won't do it. So whatever. Yeah, fuck the ball, Jay. Anyway, what were you saying?
So outside of football, just been doing a lot of freaking Bloons TD6. Like, this freaking game, man. Like, I like playing with my boys, and they like it, even though it's basically just a kid's tower defense freaking game that's everywhere now. iPads, it's on my freaking TV, my smart TV, it's everywhere. So I've embraced it as just a way to play with them. So, and it's also Amy honestly
Amy started playing some shovelware on her phone. She like
really
clicked on an ad, and now she plays some dumbass shovelware game constantly. It's like one of those fucking she's clicking on shit. I mean, it's Clash of Clans, probably. I shouldn't talk shit. But.
You never know. So honestly, a lot of it, like playing a lot of that, but it's really not that interesting to talk about. But then I definitely have been playing some Grounded. Me and Zion have been playing with Grounded 2 just being released, and the evolution of this game.
The beta came out, yeah.
Yeah, like it's like I really want to play Grounded 2 and just what they're doing there, but because of where this game, like I've been playing this game since the beginning, since it was pre-release beta way back, and so when it was just an open sandbox, and now it just grew to a whole level. And then there's story added into the full game, and now the 2. And it's like, I want to finish like the story with Grounded first before I move on to 2. Just because I've heard and seen, because my son has been playing it on an easier mode because he really loves it too. And I've seen kind of some of the stuff that happens later, and it's like, I did not expect that to happen. I won't spoil it here, but things I did not expect to show up in that game showed up, and because of that, and because of the way that I know they've improved the skill system and kind of made more classic RPG roles in Grounded 2, which was definitely unexpected, but also makes me really excited about the possibilities and the way they've upped combat. Because to me, Grounded is never about the combat. It's about the exploration and the building and like, why are we here? What's going on and all that. But I've seen my son get better weapons and farther and like advance farther and find different things to where like, oh yeah, there's thought that you can put into a build to defeat like this boss, which there weren't bosses before when I was playing it heavily. So it's like, oh, I want to go do that and learn all about that before I even move on. So I've been playing a lot of Grounded, building our mushroom brick base in the northern grasslands for further exploration, hoping to take down some termites soon. So yeah, that's been taking up a lot of my time, bro.
Okay. Yeah, that's still PC. I actually was on a podcast, and when I do that, I learned that I can just say to Siri, "Hey Siri, play a random episode of the Imperial Scrolls of Honor podcast." Oh, I shouldn't have done that part.
That's great.
But
good job.
I learned I can say that, and it'll just play a random episode from any time, which is great, as opposed to having to like, it's the same thing as like the Netflix syndrome. Like, I don't have to go in and click and like find one, whatever. But like when I run out of podcasts to listen to, and I need some just background noise, I'll put on one of our podcasts and just fucking, the whole reason we do the podcast is like reliving these moments and just hanging out, and I laugh at it. So I fucking will do that, and being able to do it as a random one. Anyway, the point being, I just listened to one. It was the Gauntlet one is what came up, and that's me, you, and Jab actually. And you guys were talking about Grounded on there, just in that episode, pretty at length. And yeah, it's something it's a curiosity piquing story world for sure.
Yeah. It's worth it, man. It's worth
it. There probably is a VR. At this point, there is a VR mod for everything in some way, shape, or form. I'm learning the proficiency of it. It varies greatly, but someone has tried to some degree or another, and you never know if they succeeded. So I should look into that, perhaps.
Yep, I think you should. You absolutely should.
And they're even like, some of them are even like, it's like a shell. So if it's like, well, that's not a good example because that has a native VR mode, but you could play, you'd be part of it, whatever. If there's like an online community with the flat screen cave manners, like you'd be able to integrate with it seamlessly because the VR modification is happening locally of the base game that's operating
okay.
normally. You know what I mean? So like, it's not even a matter of
playing a different game on a different build,
right.
Completely kind of thing.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah,
that's.
In a lot of the cases, I mean, again, it's a wild, wild west, and everything is different. But a lot of them, I think, would work that way with a modern game that someone has created some sort of modification for.
I don't know. That could be the thought of being in that world. VR.
Amazing. Exactly. Amazing. Especially that, like, that's part of why it's curiosity piquing is because would be an exemplary use of
that'd be sick.
VR, you know, because the whole thing of that is, again, it's the same thing. It's like the Subnautica thing of, like, you're in an alien world where you don't know what you're going to see, and the magnitude of things that you can see and do see is incredible. And, like, that is so much better experienced in a VR context than on a flat screen on the other side of the room.
Sure.
My argument always, Jay.
And I know it's not the same, but now that you just said that, I think after this, I'm going to get on the headset, the VR headset, and just get on Game Pass and play it anyway, and just see how, you know, just in that environment. Because I know I've played some games just via the Xbox.
You can make the screen
Game Pass app in there, and it's like, close. Whoa.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Immersion. Yep. I'll take the immersion any day.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I obviously have plenty of things to talk about VR wise once we get there. So, what else? What else you got?
Yeah, I couldn't really get into anything these days, man. I don't know if it's just been life and just being busy. Like, I've not been wanting to dig into and, like, finish some of my bigger games. Like, like, even Doom, the Dark Ages, which is great. Like, I haven't finished that yet. Haven't finished Oblivion. Like, I have these open games, but that I haven't finished yet. And it's like, when I guess maybe it's just due to work, I've been coming home and just wanting to just relax and do something that's not
totally
deep, you know.
That's why I'm on the flip side of that right now, coming off that project in New York. Like, responsibility is minimal right now, and I have buddy tore into some shit for sure. But yeah, the whole time I was there, I mean, my headset, again, same thing. I took it, I didn't touch it the entire time, just like I say I always do. I don't know why I'm fucking just insistent on bringing it. I don't know. It's such a. They tried to take it away from me. Did I say this last time? They tried to take it away from me at the airport because it was packed and they wouldn't. It's got a lithium battery in it, and they like the guy. I was dumb enough to say it was in there when he asked the thing. He's like, "Is there anything with a lithium battery?" I'm like, "Yeah. I mean, there's fucking iPads. There's fucking VR headsets. There's all sorts of shit in there. What do you mean? Of course. Like, who the fuck doesn't have that shit in there?" And he's like, "Oh, you can't. Whatever." And I'm like. It was really hilarious, dude. Like, you could tell he was just doing his job, and like he didn't care at all because he's like, "Oh, you got to take it out," and then he just like looked away basically, and like, you know, I clearly didn't take a VR headset out of somewhere. I clearly didn't put it anywhere else, and he's just like, "Okay," and then threw it back, you know. And I couldn't. I don't want to go as far as to say that it was deliberately like, I'm telegraphing to you that you don't have to do anything, and I just have to say this to you, and we can move on with our lives, you know. But it felt awfully fringe that, you know. So
interesting.
When your next flight, when the bottom of your next airplane burns out on your next flight, and some terrible crash happens, that's why, Jay, because they don't actually make people take their VR headsets out of their bags.
That's ridiculous. We've flown with the VR headsets to Ohio every time we go back to Thanksgiving.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's, you know, I mean, yeah, I clearly, that's the whole point of this topic is that I bring it everywhere, and this is the first time it's ever been a thing, and I can't imagine it's not just because, I don't know, I clearly, yeah, I mean, if there's so many things, I'm breaking so many rules every time I get on a plane. I'm bringing Miyagi, he's a service animal, he's not really a service animal, I'm doing so many things that is like, I'm just manipulating the system because I know I fly enough and I'm fucking confident enough when I'm talking to someone that I can make anything work. And you know what I mean? I'm doing so much of that. So I know for a fact if this question had been brought up before, I would have internalized that what the answer needs to be to get through this step in the process. So I've never been asked this before. So I don't know why it was the question arose this time, and why I didn't have the right answer, but it was a funny little moment for sure.
That's crazy talk, man. That's crazy.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, I think that's it, man. I've been filling in my time with just different PvP situations, so just dipping my toes back in the ESO, but they have a whole new subclassing system with that, so I'm just like,
I can't talk shit.
It felt too overwhelming, so I was like, nah, I'm not dealing with that right now. Like, that's new game. So I'll just switch to Marvel Rivals and playing some more Halo Infinite, just because I hadn't played that. I actually deleted it for the first time and it hadn't even been on my console in months. But I just, I was missing some quick, like, give me some PvP action, and that's as fun as Marvel Rivals is, and it's almost like its own little mini multiverse with cool costumes that, like, it's fun. I don't know, the gameplay with Halo Infinite is still so much better, like, for a quick game, and they keep it up, so it's a solid game. So, but yeah, man, that's pretty much it. I actually there's one more game, I take that back, that I did download, but it was yesterday, and I just have been dipping my toes in because one of my buddies who, I played Call of Duty Zombies with all the time and played college football with, he keeps talking about this game, Ready or Not. Have you heard about this game? So apparently it's like a SWAT team tactical type of game. And he's been talking about it, like, hey, trying to get us to play. So I bought it and downloaded it. And man, it's like the tutorial was a bit overwhelming because, like, it's literally like a SWAT team.
Yeah, is it? Oh, is that the body cam one? That's what I'm thinking of. Is it the body cam game? Is that?
No, it's not body cam.
No?
Like,
okay.
You're an actual dude, like, first person shooter, but you have your SWAT team, a literal SWAT team with you. Somebody has hostages, and, like, you gotta, like, command, like, all right, red team, stack on that door, left team, like, go right and clear the room with flashbangs. And you do have, like, cams that you can see, like, body cams of, like, the other teams once you get separated from them. But, like, just sending out the commands was very, like, overwhelming. I was like, hold on, I didn't even actually get into an actual active match yet because it felt like so much prep work, just to learn how to be a SWAT team member. That's not something I ever thought I wanted to do. But it seems like, I mean, it was a pricey game, but it seems like there might be something there. So I'm excited to dig into it, but I have not dipped my toe into it yet because I would prefer to play it with him and, like, the guys so that we're talking to each other instead of just myself trying to command AI or, like, some random fucks or assholes,
Sure.
So.
Yeah, that sounds horrific for sure. Yeah.
So we'll see. But yeah, man, Ready or Not, if you've ever wanted to be a SWAT team leader, there you go.
There was it's been within, time flies, but it's been within the last year that there was it was like a body cam game that was, like, wildly realistic or something. I remember seeing some, like, buzz on.
Like that it was coming or was out? Because it might be, because there is body cam footage, like I said, with the team, which is kind of crazy. When I was doing
I know this, if I recall, again, it's just I'm fucking, shit flies by. Yeah. But if I recall correctly, that was the whole shtick. It was, like, insanely real, and it was like being I think it was just a cop, Okay. But like I think it was tactical though, like some, like one of the tactical cops, which is kind of the same thing. I don't know. Maybe who the fuck do I know?
Yeah, the's always when there's one type of game made, there's
familiarity. Just trying to demonstrate familiarity for conversation's sake.
Appreciate it. Yeah, that's it for me, man. What have you been jamming on? I know you've got a lot, so tell me about it. Let's dig into this.
For sure.
And anything that's not VR. Spoiler alert.
Well, some things that don't have to be VR, for sure. Okay. Portal 2, I had downloaded right before our last episode. Or while I was there, I recorded while I was there, and I didn't have my black box of VR Death, so I couldn't start it. But yeah, it's incredible video game. I mean, I don't know, I didn't realize or know that it was part of the. I'm not a big Half-Life fan, so that's part of why, I guess. But this is part of the Half-Life universe. I guess it's like it's almost like it's kind of wild to me that this happened, that one of the big AAA developers could, like, kind of, it's so long ago. It was a different business then. That's part of why. Portal's from 2000. It came out in 12, so they probably started developing in, like, 2009 or something. But it's like a joke tangent of the Half-Life universe. Like, there's some, like, incredibly obscure aspect of the Half-Life lore that generated what Portal and Portal 2 became. But it's not a shooter at all. It's a brilliant puzzle game that is all about using these portal mechanics to solve puzzles in these it starts in these rooms, like in both of them. I don't think it's spoilery to say, that you're like in this testing system in some dystopian future where human beings are just like gerbils.
What?
In these, just suffice it to say it's interesting and compelling and brilliant and funny and like just a very well done setup of you as a human being having to use these portal mechanics to solve puzzles in these rooms, you know, and there's this AI computer sentient oversight entity that you're interacting with as you move through them, and there's this adversarial nature to it that's really fun and makes for good comedy, but the moment-to-moment game mechanic is just these puzzle rooms, you know. Even once in both cases, there's a story twist that changes, that gives it more of a outside-the-box narrative where you're not, at least theoretically, it kind of operates the same, but there is at least like this interstitial fucking areas that you move through that aren't just one room to the next room to the next room to the next room. There's like a little bit of connective tissue that gives it story and plot and you know, strings it all together as a cohesive story that you can care about, as opposed to, again, just being like an Adventures of Lolo screen after screen of just puzzles, you know. So
right.
Yeah, very well done. And again, the dystopian humor is fucking top shelf, dude. Like, absolutely brilliant. And I played all the way through the second one. And the first one doesn't have like a true VR mod, but Portal 2 was such a thing, or I don't know, maybe it was from the kernel of the original design, but it has like an online multiplayer component that I think is still, you know, in use and populated, which is a testament to what the game is, that there are people that are still doing this. Because you go in and you deal with these things. One, people can make their own levels. So it's like Doom, obviously. It's Doom effect. So clearly a game that is well revered and well followed and well played is going, and if you create this creative opportunity to make your own stuff, generate your own content, it will self-perpetuate and get crazy and be fucking amazing. So not only is that possible, so you have this never-ending stream of content options, but there's a multiplayer component of it too. So you can go in with multiple people, and clearly the custom designs can incorporate that as part of the problem-solving chain. So needing to have or being able to have multiple people. So again, there's just infinite possibilities of what you could do with it. I, of course, am not engaged in any of that. The VR modification of it, I don't think supports which is kind of contrary to what we're talking about, but this is an old game, so it's a bad example. That's you know. But yeah, you can't, the VR aspect of it, I don't think is supported at least very well in the multiplayer aspect of it. But in the ability to build your own levels, someone has, while there's not a Portal 1 full VR overhaul, someone has made all the puzzle rooms in Portal 1 in the custom Portal 2 level.
Oh, that's
editor.
cool.
You know what I mean?
Cool.
So I was able to play both of them, basically. And played all the way through. And yeah, I mean, at first, you know, I was going through that second one when I just started knowing nothing about it. And I was kind of like, you know, it felt like I was just like, okay, this is all going to just be puzzle rooms. And it's just like room to room to room and room. And like I said, at first you'll think that playing it. Mm-hmm. And it's not that it's not interesting. The puzzles are great. And it's like the mechanics feel great. And it's all great. But it did feel like, okay, there's no, I need, you know me, I need story. And I was worried that wasn't going to be present here, that it was just this puzzle thing. Once I got out of what was essentially the tutorial, I was like, oh my God, like this is it's so good, dude. The story is so fucking good. And the voice acting, dude, and this is from so long ago, but the voice acting is off the wall good. The fucking cast is it's got a bunch of great actors, even the ones you maybe haven't heard of, but it's got J.K. Simmons playing one of the big roles, like
really, you know,
he's one of the premier older hard ass character actors on the planet. Yeah. Big HBO actor, Whiplash, yada yada yada, just a million things. Incredible fucking character actor. And then Stephen Merchant is also a prominent character as well, and he's also very accomplished. So a UK actor, a British actor. So yeah, the voice acting is incredible. The puzzles are incredible. The story is incredible. It just, could not put it down. Tore ass through it nonstop until I finished it. And then, yes, wanted more and played the first game as well. Just so good. The VR modification of it, perfect. There was one, really bad problem, game-breaking, crashing thing that a little bit of Googling, it was not an unheard of problem, and I was able to get around it and fix it. So for the most part, the VR modification of it was seamless and easy to do. And yeah, just such a good experience, dude. Cannot recommend it enough. It would be fine on flat screen, I'm sure. It was built for that. It's such a good game. And yeah, the idea that it's just like this tangent joke in the Half-Life universe is amazing to me, that they built something this incredible as just a fucking inconsequential spinoff. Is just such a good job, I think. Especially because it's such a different game. It's not just another shooter, which is what I think of Half-Life is. I understand Half-Life is story heavy. I probably should like it more than I do, or care about it more than I do. But it was just, so surprising in every possible way. And I'm so glad that I let the fucking periphery internet buzz that was leaking into my view steer me down that road. It was such a good fucking experience. I cannot recommend it enough. So I finished that and started looking around.
Dude,
sorry, go ahead.
Hearing that just makes me I'm glad you had a good experience about that. About people taking an aspect of one game, some small thing, and turning it into something good. But it also just makes me bummed when I think, because that immediately makes me think of The Witcher 3, how great of a game that was, and how Gwent was a perfect game within the game. And then they made it its own game and just ruined it completely. Just totally messed it up and made it just not even the same game. Well, you can still come back and play Witcher 3. You still have the thing that you like. Why do you let that bum you out, Jay? At the same time, but once you get to a certain point, which I am, where it's the end game, you can't go back to certain areas. So I'm limited with who I can play Gwent with, in the areas that I can go to now. I'd have to start a brand new game maybe just to be playing Gwent, which feels silly when they had a standalone version right there ready for me. Just right there.
That all does feel very silly to me, Jay. I agree.
Anyway, moving on.
Fucking Witcher 3 callback. Woo! We're just existing in 2012 here. Limbo, Neo Retro, something. There's some commentary to be said about that kind of just nether world of that, between yes. Actual retro and modern gaming, and we're existing somewhere in between the two. Is funny in some way, shape, or form that I can't quite pinpoint. Anyways, next thing. So I had been kicking around. I'd been seeing shit about pinball, VR pinball games for a while, and I'd kind of been looking. There's a bunch of them on Quest and on flat or not flat screen, but Steam VR, and I just I didn't want to take the time to figure out which one was the best and modern one and whatever. So I just hadn't engaged it. And I finally kind of decided on, based on pricing and just what I think I needed or wanted. There's a native Quest app called Pinball FX VR, which I guess is by this company Zen, that for over a decade now has been the premier pinball game developer, video pinball, game developer. And I think it's a hilarious amount of money, $10 or something for the base game. It's one of those things where and it's got a hub world where all the tables that you get are in this space, and you can get, it's got all the trimmings. It's got you fucking get rewards. You can get these tapes for the stereo, and they play, music, and there's trophies everywhere. There's it's all the shit's there. The only thing it doesn't have, which blows my fucking mind, is multiplayer, that you can't bring someone. I actually downloaded the plan with this was for Amy and I to sit down and play this together and play pinball together in one of our spaces and come over each other's arcades, and we downloaded the game and get ready to go and okay, where the fuck's the multiplayer thing? And it's not there, and I couldn't even conceive that was possible. But I just don't understand why that's not there. I'm sure it's an extra level of developing for probably a relatively small developer, given the pricing of this. Although, I don't know, because they've been around for a decade. So, yeah, this is actually a bad excuse. Oh, okay. It's been around for a decade, and they have licenses out the ass. They have Williams tables. They have, Star Trek, and, they have, top-tier IP licensed tables that you can buy. So they've got to have the money, and the idea that there's not a multiplayer aspect of this actually, is completely unforgivable, probably. But the one-player experience is fucking amazing. So the base game on Quest comes with 3 tables. There's this Egyptian one that's my favorite. I can't stop fucking playing it. It's so fucking good. And then there's like this kind of film noir detective theme table. And mind you, Jay, these are all real tables that exist in the real world. They are modeled down to the most minute detail. Both in the pinball space and the scoreboard. And, a lot of these games have like scoreboard mini games that interact with when, your ball gets into a lock or something and then turns into the LED display on the scoreboard, does something, and you have to like do whatever. So it's like, every aspect of playing pinball in the real world is there. And then some. There's, they do more with it, and they create challenges and allow you to do all these things that go above and beyond what you'd be able to do, at least without fucking some sort of really additional legwork in the real world. So, the physics of it, dude, are fucking incredible. It's perfect. It's fucking perfect. It's so good. And yeah, there's 3 tables. I really like 2 of them. The one also is kind of good. It's just it's like a colonial airship. Like it's like a mashup of like colonial military themes and like this airship theme. And it's just it's fucking weird. It's really fucking weird to me. And while the pinball is fine in it, it's just not a story world that's interesting to me. Because on top of, all pinball tables are heavily themed. Of course, that's the deal. But like there's like a character next to the table that like a full human sized character that stands next to the table. Like in the case of the Egyptian table, it's a mummy. In the case of the film noir table, it's a detective. And they're sitting there, they're like talking shit to you. They're reacting to your in-game moments. They're like, the mummy's like dancing around at times and shit. It's like, it's a nice fun touch, I guess, to add to kind of, again, the like, we're in a VR arcade experience thing, So yeah, just a lot of really cool shit, especially for the price, and the physics are fucking perfect. And it's such a great, you have, especially with, in my case, the next thing I'm going to get to, all these modification things that I'm doing now on my black box of VR Def. I can just jump over while that's downloading or updating or fucking whatever it's doing and play this for like, a few runs on the table. It's just like you can play it as like a 7-minute experience, and it's fucking perfect and so fulfilling, and it feels so good. And it's also, pinball is fucking hard, man. And it's, there's, that outside track of the ball can just go down without your intervention when you're kicking ass on a fucking run is like the most frustrating, deflating emotion possible video game. It's incredible how emotionally impactful it is to me and how upset I get playing pinball. It's a really, really good pinball game, dude. And yeah, I cannot recommend it enough. If you want something bite-sized to do in VR, holy shit, is this good. It's really good.
See, I don't know, man. You had me, but then you kind of lost me. For me, I think I decided I just like video game pinball better than real life pinball. Like, I've played a game, I can't remember the name of it. It was on Game Pass a couple years ago, because like when in the first Microsoft Gaming Give tournament, like I competed in, like it was part of it, and it was like Demon Zone, I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, it was a phenomenal like 3-board like video game pinball. Like, it was awesome. But I don't know, video games to me are so much more fun than actual pinball. So like once video games came out, I was kind of like, yeah, I'll play pinball every now and then. But unless you give me like a good video game pinball where it's doing a little something different, I'll probably pass on that. But when you started talking about the character,
well, that's the thing.
Shit, that kind of helps me. You got to give me something more.
The physics again. I don't know enough. I'm not a fucking pinball fanatic. I'm pretty sure these are modeled perfectly off tables, but dude, like, especially modern pinball games, dude, like, I don't know the last time you were like at like a pinball joint, but like modern pinball is not like old school pinball. Modern pinball, they are trying to, like, they're still creating new tables, first of all. Second of all, they are trying to inject more. They are trying to turn it into a more video-like experience. One, in like the interactions with the scoreboard, and two, just the shit going on the table is more. You know, there's just more. I don't know how to describe that or in a better way. Again, I don't know enough about pinball, whatever history to like how to describe that. But like, there's enough shit going on. You don't have multiple screens because it is you are in a real space with a real pinball table. But it's not boring at all. I promise you, they're not boring tables. They're not like I was at Amy and I when I went back in New York. Amy came out and visited. We went to Cold Spring as a weekend getaway on July 4th weekend. We went in to this one fucking leather jacket store, and they had an old school pinball table from like 1950 or something. And it's just basic. There's so few things going on it. You know what I mean? Because that's how they used to be. And it was just, harder to make whatever. The technology was different. So like, it's not like that. There has just been a massive change / shift towards like making the experience more than it used to be. So yeah, I mean, you can, the beautiful thing with Quest, and this is a great game for it, because you can clearly experience everything you could possibly want to experience. It's a no risk investment because you can just return the game on Quest up to 2 hours. So you could download it and feel that out for yourself. I think it might even have a free demo, to be honest with you, but without even having to do the buy and return thing. But I think I might have done that even. I think I did do that. And I was like, oh, fuck yes, you got it, and bought it. So yeah, again, it's a bite-sized thing, dude. It's so good. And like, they sell the tables in packs, so you can get, you can buy the packs that you want specifically. Nice. And there's, like I said, just off the chart. Knight Rider, I know is one that I keep thinking about buying. There's a Tomb Raider one. There's fucking Star Trek. There's all these like not necessarily recognizable IPs, but like fun, not again classic sound. Maybe like they may be basic, but like just classically themed monster ones or whatever it is that are just crazy ass shit. Like really really fun tables that you can get, and there's a shit ton of them. So I just have those 3 original tables. All I play is that Egyptian one, basically. And then every now and again, if I get too pissed off at it, I'll jump over to the Film Noir one, because that one's pretty good too. But, you get, like, having unfettered, unlimited number of plays as an option that doesn't cost you money, it allows you to get good in a way that I've never been good at pinball. Like, I like playing pinball, and, like, I'm, okay, I think. But you gotta, like, learn the table. You gotta, like, know what you're trying to do, what the goals are to get to the multipliers that really make your score climb. Like, you gotta, like, learn the table, dude. And, like, this allows you to, like, get good at a table. And it's just a really different approach to pinball that I've never thought I would, have an interest in, So, yeah. That's pretty fucking good. That's just a little side thing. The other big story game that is new is the Midnight Walk, and this is available in both. You can get it on Steam. It might be on Xbox too. I don't know, but it's available in both flat and VR modes on the same Steam purchase. So you just buy the one version of it. I got it. It might still. I think sale might have just ended. I can't remember when it was going to, but I got it for 30% off. So it was like $28, I think, and. Yeah, you buy the one, download, and you can play it in VR or flat screen out of that same one, either way, interchangeably, I believe. And it's released by this really big VR stud publisher, Fast Travel Games. They've done a lot of really great games. Especially, I know they've done a bunch of really good horror games, too. So, whatever, they're a great VR publisher. They only put out great shit for the most part. So, the game is a really heavy, story-driven game that is set in a Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas-esque horror claymation art landscape. The art is beautiful. It's so well done. It is so good. The mechanics, very creative. The writing is incredible. And Jay, I'm not crying. You're crying. I was fucking bawling at the end of this game. It was such a beautiful, beautiful game. Like the themes, like you get. I almost don't want to talk about the theme because it's a little bit spoilery, I think. Yeah. But the kernel of the game is you are this entity that kind of just appears. You like a coffin opens and you walk out of it in this story world, and you're like, they call you the Burns or something like that, and like you're this entity that was like, I don't know, you were burnt up or something, and you have this role where when things get really fucked up in this world, one of your kind of comes back and appears, and it's your job to fix things. Mm-hmm. And the way you fix things is you will meet this other little race that's called a potboy, and it is like it's a child in its behavior and its mannerisms and it's the size of it, whatever. But it's like a stone fire generation being, you know. So it has like in its head, it has this little fucking these hot coals that it can shoot out, and like that's the whole thing. Like you were burned up, you kind of died via fire, and this thing is like the embodiment of fire. And you two have to come together, and this whole world is like contingent, or like its ability to function hinges on the presence of fire. And you have to go out and kind of like all the fire has went out, and that's why things are fucked now. And like you have to go out and kind of like basically inject life back into all these ecosystems in this world, you know. And it's so beautiful. And the thing is the spoilery to say, it's the reason it's heart-wrenching. I think you can say this. The reason it's heart-wrenching is because the pot boy is finite. And the pot boy knows it's finite. Or I don't know if the pot boy knows it's finite, but you know it's finite. Mm-hmm. And I mean, yes, it has to know for it to really... I don't know if it knows it in the beginning, but it eventually learns it, because that's part of the thing, is like, you have to make these choices, man, that are... Woo! And like, it is such a good job. Such a good job of like, generating an emotional connection to a fucking video game character, and then forcing you to make hard decisions about and for it, and it's so well done, so fucking good. And the end of the game was great, and the mechanics too, just very cool. A lot of, again, kind of a little bit puzzle driven. It's not like there were a few that were like a little bit like, what the fuck is how to, especially in VR, again, kind of because of that VR thing of like you don't always know everything that's interactable necessarily, because you're in a whole world that all looks like real, or at least real within the confines of the story. So, you know, there were a few times where I was a little bit stuck, but for the most part, it's just kind of like a story you're experiencing where you have to interact with things to get, you know, further, as opposed to some like really hard, like Portal based, where like I would be stuck in a fucking Portal puzzle for a whole day sometimes and just have to put it down and come back with a fresh, you know, lens. But so yeah, finish that. Also great. And then those cocksuckers at Bethesda sent me another ping that Skyrim VR and Fallout VR were around 75 and 67% fucking off sales, respectively, again. So I did some Googling, because I know Bethesda did a dog shit job with both these games. The VR ports of them, I mean. Like, probably the absolute worst job that a big studio could do in porting a caveman flat screen game over to VR, by all internet accounts, is how Bethesda handled these VR ports, right? So I know they're dog shit. But, as you might imagine, the internet is beautiful, especially about revered video games like Fallout and fucking Skyrim. So the nerds have done things to these games, Jay, that should give us all a kernel of hope for, like, humanity's trajectory, dude. Like, so, you know, I see all this, and I'm reading that, like, the difference between what Bethesda put out and what's possible is incomprehensible and immeasurable in every possible way. So, like, I'm like, you motherfucking cunts, fine. Here's $34. Give me both of these goddamn games, and I'll fix them for you so that it's worth the money. You know,
wait,
I'll do the
Skyrim
work.
And which one?
And Fallout 4.
And Fallout 4, okay.
The VR iterations. Together, $34 for the two of them with these sales, right? So I buy them both. And in Skyrim's case, there's a modder, goes by Mad God. that has assembled a Wabbajack mod list, Jay, which Jab had said that word to me a handful of times when talking about modding, Wabbajack, and I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what that is. Wabbajack is...
That's from ESO.
It's for... They have them, there's a bunch of them as far as like the games that they can be used for or that have used it or do use it. But it's essentially just a modification shell. So instead of... There's this app called Vortex that allows you to... It's like, it's the server where all the mods get listed, basically, and can be downloaded from. And you can go in there and search for individual mods and apply them to games and toggle them all yourself and blah, 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 blah. It's just a lot of work to do that. And, like, I've used that for, like, Subnautica is just, like I said, it's like a full native mod that's, like, built for the one game and handles everything from the ground up that I can just download in Vortex, turn it on in Vortex, and then when I start Subnautica, it's using that, and I don't have to do anything. Skyrim doesn't have that, partly because it's an older game, I think, partly whatever the reason, partly because of the customization desires, maybe, of Skyrim. So, it would have been more work to individually modify every single little thing about Skyrim that could have turned it into what it now is for me. But Wabbajack is basically a playlist. It's like you can make a playlist. And it attaches to individual mods in Vortex. So this beautiful fucking nerd, Mad God, has created a 1,712 modification item list that turns Skyrim from a dog shit port made by Bethesda into a modern, perfect video game with just an immeasurable amount of new content in it. And it's some work. It's a fucking lot of work. But Jay, everything. Quality of life, check. Total visual overhaul of every minute texture and polygon and detail and lighting effect and everything in the game. Blah, 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 blah. Check. Newly written NPC dialogue. Game-wide. Every character. All new dialogue, all new recordings, all amazing voice acting. Check. Completely new missions and story content out the fucking wazoo. Check. And Jay, straight up XXX porn scenes you can work to make happen. Of course, check. And I can't stop playing this game, Jay. It's incredible, not just because of the XXX porn, but it's from the ground up a new video game. And you can actually download there's two versions. You get the not safe for work one or the not safe for work one. So you don't have to inject the fucking all the nudity and stuff that can be created in the game. But it's just so fucking good, dude. It's so fucking good. It's so good. I'm at like level 20, dude. I haven't stopped playing it. It's so good. It's, again, because it's in VR, you do it differently. Like, I played Skyrim a million times. I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours in Skyrim. And like, also because there's new content, at least, well, I know there's new content, but like, I don't know what's new and what's not. It's not identifiable in any way, shape, or form. So I don't know what I'm finding that I never found before and what is just new. I don't know. I can't see the seams, which is great, of course. So I don't know if I think I'm finding new things. Like, I'm going to places that I know, I know that map. Like, it's the same way walking around New York. Like, I know that map, dude. I know identifying landmarks. I know things about that world because I played so much. And I will be walking places and like walking through a thing that like I thought did not have a POI, and it'll be a POI, and there's a whole fucking story thing, just like Skyrim does to you, And I don't know how much of that is new or not. It doesn't really matter to me. It's there now, and I'm playing the shit out of it. I can't put it down. I've already probably dumped fucking 20 hours into this game this week, like in the past 2 weeks maybe. And yeah, it's just I'm fucking playing Skyrim again, Jay, and it makes me I can't believe I'm doing it. I'm so ashamed of myself, but it is so fucking good. It is so good, dude. So good. Hey. And yeah, I haven't even touched it yet. Two reasons. One, there's like an extra level of something because Fallout 4 is newer. So Bethesda is still putting out updates for it. And their updates, every time they do an update, it breaks this a little bit. because it utilizes all the DLC things too. So I gotta like to make the Fallout 1, at least the existing version of it, work. And it's only like 300 mods too. So part of that's just because it doesn't need to fix as many things because it's a newer game, I assume. Right. But it's also, Fallout is not quite what Skyrim is as far as the revere and people's willingness probably to spend time creating new content for it. So probably somewhere sort of hybrid of those two things, why there's less of an adaptation, but it definitely has quality of life improvements that makes that broken ass version they put out better. So that would be enough for me, even if there's not like a bunch of new cool shit. But I basically have to do this extra level of something to roll. You have to like roll back the DLC versions to a previous version, which is like a little bit of a high level operation. So I've started tinkering with it, but because Skyrim was right there and ready to go, I just like didn't want to waste the time doing that now. So sometime in the future, maybe by the time I finish Skyrim, who knows how long that can take because there's so much new shit. Maybe it'll just be fixed. I don't want to do this. That's another positive to not trying to engage Fallout 4 right now either. But yeah, I mean, between those two games, I mean, goodbye, Jay. Like, if you want to speak to me for the rest of 2025, you'll need to come find me in the Reach or the Wasteland. Good luck. Like, I'm just playing the shit out of Skyrim, dude. It's fucking like, you know, I'm just, how quickly can I get done my inbox to as close as I want my inbox to be to inbox 0 as I can, and then go turn on Skyrim as every day.
Nice.
It's so fucking good, dude. And yeah, I mean, dude, you know, new spells, there's just, it's, what? And the VR, I keep bonking. I fucking nailed Miyagi yesterday. I felt so bad. Cause like I'm playing it sitting, I gotta stop playing it sitting down. I'll be sitting it down and like, you know, Skyrim, dude. It's like, and like, now it's full motion controls, everything. So like, fucking, I got a fucking mace and I fucking whack the shit out of things. And I'm sitting on my couch playing it, and that you know, I won't know. I either will forget he's there or he's not. And like, a couple times now, I have fucking cracked him, and I'm like, oh god, Jesus Christ,
poor Miyagi.
Yeah, poor Miyagi, fucking terrible. So, yeah, dude. Oh god, it's fucking so good. Worth the time. Worth the fucking time. If you have the tools with which, you know, the VR fucking computer to fucking do it. And, you know, it probably took me 2 or 3 days. You had to download everything.
Oh, man.
And, you know, as you might imagine, some of them are like fucking 7, 8, 10, 15 gigs. Some of these things. It's like 400 gigabytes of content.
That's insane.
All these mods, you know, it's fucking crazy, but it is so fucking worth it, dude. It's a completely new video game in every aspect. It is, I mean, all the POIs that you know, it's like the perfect combination actually of like all the POIs that you know that like make you all warm and fuzzy and cue all the nostalgia shit for you, but everything looks better. Everything is beautiful and modern, and you know, I didn't play any of that fucking Oblivion remaster, but it's probably that and more, you know, as far as like the qualitative upgrade goes. So good. So yeah, that's all I've been playing. Last thing is my X-Men quest. I am up to 234 on X-Men on the X-Men side and 32 on the X-Factor side, which is like September 88. And the Archangel reveal, dude, was such a slow burn. Like, it was such a slow burn. I think it was good. I feel like it kind of like, because that happened in Fall of the Mutants, you know, is when that all went down. And like, I kind of felt like Fall of the Mutants on the whole was a letdown as far as how it played out. And like, I don't know, just like, it kind of like, they crashed that ship in Manhattan and that was a thing, but like, Apocalypse's ship, I mean, but like, he just kind of went away. I don't know, it was very anticlimactic, it felt, and like, the job they did of integrating, because they went across all those different books, you know, the Fall of the Mutants story supposedly, but they didn't really interact. They were like, it was kind of all happening, and they would like might even make like references to, oh, this is happening in New York with X-Factor or whatever. Which is maybe the first time I've seen X-Men acknowledge X-Factor's existence, too, which was interesting, considering we're talking, like, years of it existing now. Right. So that was interesting to me, actually, to realize that there had not been more of a thematic overlap or a storyline overlap between those two, given clearly it's original X-Men. There should be the idea that they wouldn't, you know, that there just wouldn't be intermingling, and, like, it is kind of insane to me. Especially
like nowadays, there's much more of that. Back then, there was much, much less of that, for sure.
Yeah,
it was like separate books, separate everything, separate writers.
Right, but they're
like, it was
weird. I guess. There probably is just less of a central hub trying to create a universe as opposed to just, like you said, different books with different writers and stuff. But, there was an editor. Jim Shooter was the editor. He oversaw all this shit. Like, it was not totally detached. They were in the same office. The idea that, again, I hear you that, like, maybe Avengers and fucking, New Mutants those writers are not, whatever, we're just doing our own things. But, like, the idea that X Factor and X-Men, one, you have top writers and artists working on these two books for sure at this point. So it's not like just grunts who are afraid to talk to the bigwigs are handling the material. Like, just the idea that they hadn't interacted at all through like 28 issues over 2 years was kind of crazy to me. At least that I can remember. Maybe there was, and I just didn't recall. Whatever the case. But yeah, Fall of Mutants in general was not, especially, I was excited about the Apocalypse thing. I like him as a character. We talked about this. I was kind of really bummed about the reveal of the Four Horsemen and an Angel. It was not as much as I kind of hoped it would be. And again, totally petered out. And I guess kind of getting a few issues past it, I guess I'm kind of seeing indicate like there's something going on with Archangel that is brewing and I can't tell what it is. So like, I get that maybe it's not over and that's why it feels like it petered out because it didn't have a climax and there's something still happening even though we're not technically in the Fall of the Mutants phase anymore. So maybe we'll assuage these whatever disappointments at some point in the future. But yeah, when it ended and I read finished the X-Men and the X Factor books in the order, I read them in the order that I was supposed to even, according to the fucking, that website I use. And I still was like, whatever, like that, nothing happened. Like we didn't get anywhere. So that was kind of a bummer. Storm got her powers back conveniently out of some forged storyline.
Of course.
That I didn't completely understand that. The X-Men are dead now in the public's eyes. They're like pretending to be dead, and I don't really understand that. There's like a bunch of shit I don't understand the full scope of or breadth of, and I don't know. Hopefully the shoe drops on that stuff. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I think there some big another Brood storyline is getting cooking right now. Colossus came back. Nightcrawler's still AWOL, but Colossus came back, and they did like a whole tangent thing where they went to his sister's fucking demon realm or something. That was a total bullshit tangent.
I feel like you're in such a weird period there. Like I don't.
It is. Oh, it's for sure that.
It's definitely a weird period. People coming and going, and like what's happening here and there. Yeah.
Yeah, I expected I kind of expected Fall of the Mutants to kill off, because like Dazzler did die or almost. Like I thought that Fall of the Mutants was going to kill off like Longshot and Dazzler and kind of all these characters that I was like don't give a fuck about and like are kind of getting in the way of the X-Men I want to see. I thought that Fall of the Mutants was going to fix that for me, but it did not happen. They conveniently all made it out of there just fine. So they're still dicking around and fucking getting in the way, I guess. But yeah, it is very much a weird time for sure. And I'm so close. I mean, I know my first issue was 274, so I guess I'm still probably like 3 years away from that. But well, they're doing because it's moved to a bi-monthly now. There's 2 issues a month in this stretch for sure, because like there's a logo on this 234 that I'm about to read that says, it's twice a month in September now. So it'll actually hopefully cook along as far as time goes. So maybe it's not. I guess it doesn't matter. I still got to read the fucking issues, but yeah. I definitely am eager for a change of some kind because it's not fucking not checking all the boxes right now for sure.